Welcome to another episode of the Team-Stirr Show. I'm your host, Daniel Borges, member of Local 177 in New Jersey, 30 years. Thank you all for coming. Before I get started, let me read the disclaimer. The facts and dates and the events presented in this video are from the member's best recollection and may not be fully accurate. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. Always consult with your local union about your rights and duties at your workplace. The opinions shared on this video are my own opinions, Daniel Borges, and no one else is alone. His rights are protected by the National Labor Relations Act. And so let's get started. Welcome to the show. Before I start, I'm going to walk something back and give an apology to the executive board, especially Pablo Cunha, one of the trustees. He brought it to my attention that I called them Proud Boys. Did I use that reference? I did, but not to the meaning of what it was. And it's wrong. It's wrong. I shouldn't have accused them of that. Pablo brought it to my attention. It was wrong. And I'm going to publicly apologize for using that term. That term is not cool. And, I shouldn't have used it. There's no excuse. So I want to apologize for that. And I want to thank Pablo, for coming over to talk. But I want to address one thing. I want to address certain people. There was two people there that felt that we didn't have any rights to ask questions. We asked questions that were legitimate. Dino asked a question. I followed up. Okay, there were legitimate questions. We can ask questions. This is a local union meeting, not the local 177 concert where you will praise and you applaud your favorite business agents, trustees, whoever you want. No, that's not what this is. If that's what he's looking for, he can go kiss their ass afterwards. But that's not what this is about. This is a union meeting. And does the union like that we ask questions publicly like this? No, they don't. But we're going to do it anyway. Would they rather that we ask them privately? Yeah, but we're not going to do that. We're going to ask them publicly, put everything on record, and that's what we do. And we're going to hold people accountable. That's it. We used to do those things before, but if things have gotten so ugly and turned into what it's turned into, that no longer. This show, Stewart Talk, is to hold people accountable and to ask questions and to report back what is going on. Okay? It's just that simple. So that's what this show is about. And of course, the person commented on the show, don't watch it. How can you be complaining about my show and then you're watching it? Don't watch it. It's a free country. But let me get to it. They talked about, they had Ed the lawyer come in, talk about our Wayne Garden rights. Listen, people got to show up to these meetings. So this was kind of important. You need to know your Wayne Garden rights, okay, to deal with you. You have a right to have a shop steward. Do not ever give up that right. Do not give up. You want a shop steward present? Ask for a shop steward. Don't answer any questions without a shop steward. It's reckless and dangerous. Have your shop steward present. Know your Wayne Garden rights. Have your shop steward present. It's just really it's nonsensical. You gotta use them. So they talked about that. Of course, $300 pension. They explained it to a sense of basically all they did was went to the company with a proposal that we want to raise the pension with the money that's already allocated, and we want to raise it $300. They have to get the yes and the blessing from the company. That's all it is. To throw the terms, we worked hard and come on, man. I mean, really. You have to do a presentation. Yes, show a presentation that the fund is stable enough and you got the yes from the company. That's it. That's basically what it is. But it is what it is. So should we have an explanation of that? Yeah, we should. We should. We didn't get too deep into that, but that's what it is. Okay? It's our money that was collected. There's enough money in there that justifies a pension bump of $300, which is great. Fine. But don't make it sound like it was some hard negotiation. It wasn't. It wasn't. You have to go prove to the company, yes, you do. You're running it properly? Yes, you are. I'll give you credit for that. But make sure when you're taking credit for it coming out of the green, you take the blame for it when it goes into the red. So you can't have it both ways. You can't. That's also a problem. But let me get out of that. One serious problem that I have a huge issue with is how in God's name do you have part-timers only getting a lesser salary than new hires who are only coming in for peak season? That is wrong. A person asked the question, do you guys care about the part-timers? What do I tell them? Because they feel you don't care. You know what? How can you show them you care when you're allowing this to go on? How can you allow outside people to come in temporarily and make more money than the hub employee union? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't go on in feeders. So how can you allow that to go on with the part-timers? Sorry, fumbled the ball on that because that's not the first time this is happening. When I first heard of it a year ago, I thought that can't be true. That makes no sense. How? I mean, it is what it is. Tony Allen's retired. Congratulations. Bill Heddy retired. Congratulations. I'm going to have one thing with Bill Heddy. He said all this time that he was with the local, they always fought for him and they were great. And he kind of took a pot shot at us. But I'm going to tell you one thing, Mr. Heddy. You didn't think that when you ran against him. There was a point in time when you ran against him. So because we are doing something that you did many years ago, we're wrong. I'm supposing we're wrong because we're doing that. Something that you did. You ran against the Hawk. So you didn't run against the Hawk because they were doing a good job. You ran against them because you thought they weren't doing their job. So that statement of they've always been, you never always thought that because you ran against them. So, some guys have selective memory. Some people have selective memory. Okay? And that's just something I needed to bring up. But the last thing, I don't want to talk about this because this is negotiations. And let the negotiations go on. I don't want to be part of it in the sense of putting stuff in the public, what we want, because it's not cool. But understand this. I'm being told that there was a certain meeting with certain people, with a certain group of feeder drivers that didn't involve everybody, they didn't invite, and that's okay. You could do whatever you want. But understand one thing. Everyone's proposals need to be heard. Not just a certain group who has influence over people in the negotiating committee and the executive board. You can have your group, that's cool. But this is the problem with our union, that we have these little factions and little groups when we all should be talking together and working together, but that's not happening. But I should be silent and shut on that. I shouldn't say anything. I should just pick a group and go with the flow. That's not happening. Listen, you guys, this is our union. We need to take it back, okay? Not to say, listen, I had a couple of conversations, okay, in the background, and everyone was professional, and we're going to act like men. We're all going to do a job now. But I'm going to hold people accountable when I see this stuff going on. Like the Edison shop steward in the hub knows he has an article job and he's doing car wash work, knowing that he's supposed to report it to the business agent so they could create a new job. And this is a shop steward, Mr. Matt Z. Yeah. You do it every day. You've been doing it for over a couple of years and you haven't said anything to anybody. I brought it to their attention today and I'm bringing it to you too. Hopefully you're watching. But your day of being outside and the other shop steward avoiding to file grievances that are going on inside, violations, so that you can be outside, those days are going to end. because that needs to go to senior drivers, senior people waiting on the car wash list, and that job needs to be created. So now that's going on notice. But I talked to a couple of people about it. They're going to take care of it, and I believe them. I hope, I'm putting my trust, but I'll follow up on that. But yeah, Mr. Shop Steward, Mr. 3 more years. Not going to be 3 more years if you're being outside, unless you got the seniority. So you can forget that. But other than that, guys, we got to do better. We got to show up. We got to do better. I want to thank you all for coming. Please share this. Inform people. There's other stuff, but we'll talk about it later on, But I'll probably have another video next week, something I want to address. But God bless you all. God bless America. Continue to fight. And, let's go. Good night.